Do you have any questions?
So here we
products
are
here?
with Dr. David Peck. We all know who he is, Better Bee. We recommend them all the time. And I walked over here and I noticed the Lyson hive looks a little different. And then we started having a conversation about it. And you're going to carry these at Better Bee.
Yes.
And there are some changes.
These are available at Better Bee right now. These are the newest design of Lyson polystyrene hive, and they have made a number of successful different hive designs for years, and we're very happy with them. People who use them are very happy with them, but we wanted to get a newer, better, new and improved version. And so this is, the corners here are the same or very similar to our BMAX design that we've been selling for years, that we're very happy with. And we brought those to Lyson and said we wish that dovetailing would allow us to very quickly put these hives together, hold them together very strongly. But we like things like the interlocking box features of some of the other Lyson polystyrene hives. And they said, well, yeah, we think we could do that. So in partnership with them, we have worked to develop this hive system that is cheaper for them to manufacture, which means that we then can sell each of these boxes cheaper. It's faster to manufacture, so if suddenly somebody maybe makes a YouTube video that makes this hive the hive that everyone wants to buy, we aren't held up by a bunch of Polish ladies having to pack a bunch of polystyrene beads into a hot water bath and wait for the mold to be ready so they can put the next one in. This is a faster process.
Okay.
Which is part of why it's cheaper. But it's the same density, it's the same quality of polystyrene.
Do we know the R factor on the sidewalls and the top?
No, we don't have a calculated R factor.
No?
I can find that for you.
And is that a feeder that you pulled
Yes,
off? Let's look at that.
Each
Because,
one comes with a feeder. It's got
I do like that.
Right. So your bees are coming up, into the bottom of this and getting access to that feeder, and then it sits right on top. There's two different roof designs and two different feeders that go with them. There isn't an inner cover with this, and that's important to understand that in most of Europe, a lot of beekeepers don't use inner covers at all, or if they do, they're made of canvas or like a plasticized sheet. So like a grain bag from chicken feed, you can cut to size, put right on as your inner cover. And the reason for that is they don't need the inner cover when they don't have a telescoping outer cover. So you can see that instead of this thing going over the edges and hanging down here, if that got propolized down, what am I going to do with my hive tool, right? Like I've got to go under an edge and pry it up, and I just break off the side. But because this is just sitting on that little lip, all I need to do there is have an inner cover that's going to keep the bees down so that they don't see this void and decide that needs to be filled up with burr comb. Mm-hmm. So I can put down a cloth inner cover or a grain bag, something like that, when I'm not using the feeder, and otherwise be very happy with this big air gap and insulated space. If I want my bees to get up here, I can also put a hole or an inner cover that's going to allow them to get through, and I can control ventilation versus bees coming and going.
And they make plugs that go in that, right? That come with it?
This is just a bag of plugs that'll come
Okay, great. Oh, and some are plugs with screens and others are solid plugs.
Right, so I can ventilate, I can have an all ventilated roof, or I can have an all insulated roof.
Okay.
And I can swap them around as I see fit.
And these need to be painted?
They do need to be painted like any polystyrene hive because they'll photodegrade. I can't make the sun not degrade polystyrene.
Right.
But it's a quick painting process, and no issues with moisture penetration or anything like that because it's not styrofoam like you'd find packing your TV. It's high density polystyrene.
How many frames?
10 frames.
They're 10.
Standard
So, okay.
10-frame hives, yes. And so this was part of the conversation, is that the 8-9 hives are cool,
Right.
It's a neat design,
Yep.
but it's weird, it's different.
Okay.
This 10-frame hive, because this ridge right here sits right on top of my frames, I can sell you polystyrene supers and sort of have them all interlock as part of the system. But if you've already got a bunch of 10-frame wooden supers, you can set them right on top.
Oh, it's compatible with wooden
The
supers.
inner dimension is identical, and this is strong enough that I can put a super right on top.
Now, when you put that super on, does it ride directly on this, or
It'll
does
sit
it
right on
overlap
top
it?
of this.
Straight on
Sit
top of it.
that.
Okay.
This extra width is why these boxes are a little bit wider than a standard 10-frame box, but all of the extra dimension is in the outside, not the inside. So all you have to do is be careful when you put that super down that you're sitting on this sort of narrow ridge. Other than that, they are compatible. It'll work just fine. But you'd be a lot happier probably having your boxes all interlocked together, and then we always do a webbing strap to hold our hives together, which has served us very well. So integrated design that allows you to rapidly assemble them. want something cool, I can do this. I can take this whole thing apart in about a second and put it back together in another second. So you can use glue. There's a Gorilla Glue that works pretty well for polystyrene that if you really wanted to hold these together with glue, you could use. But it is as simple as sliding these dovetails out. Like that. And then if I want to put this together, it's going to square itself. Obviously, it's all molded to size. There, I just built a box. That's it.
Are they propolizing that polystyrene on the interior?
And that's because we've been selling the B-Max design for so long, we can say very confidently that they will absolutely propolize the edges, propolize the seams. The only thing you have to be careful about is if something goes wrong, if the box gets beat up and you leave a gap like that, those bees will propolize it, and the propolis will actually help to keep it open.
Right.
And so they'll be packing it in, but you can't actually close it up, so you do need to make sure that you've seated it properly. But once you've done that, it'll all fit together. So this is the Lyson Rapid Hive. Rapid stands for Rapid Assembly, what is it? Rapid Assembly Polystyrene Interlocking Design. And my favorite part of that is that the R in Rapid stands for rapid.
Okay. Bottom board. Flick it over.
Oh yeah. You want to take a look at the bottom board?
Absolutely.
There we go. So you've got an integrated screen bottom board, but you don't have to worry about ventilation because this plastic tray completely seals it.
That is nice.
So now I've got it all sealed up. I can put oil directly into this, but it still has these ridges that are going to allow me to start counting by a grid if I want to figure out, you know, how many mites I've gotten, 5 squares.
Can you buy extras of just those inserts?
I'm sure we can arrange that.
You can. Okay.
Yep. So these slide right in, and then I've got my seal. It also has this Lyson entrance, which has been a standard feature of a few of their different hive designs, where depending upon the way I set this up, I can remove the whole thing, set the boxes right on top. I can also set it in this way and have a mouse guard, or I can flip it around, slide it in that way, and now I've got a moving screen with ventilation, so the colony is all sealed up inside.
Do me a favor and pull the yellow piece out completely.
Yep.
That's a 3/8 inch height?
This right here, I believe you are correct, yes.
That's already mouse proof.
Right. Well, it's mouse resistant. This is going to make it more mouse resistant.
Okay.
And the other advantage is that especially on their mating nukes, you can get different inserts of different sizes, so you can keep queens from coming and going or drones from coming and going, and it gives you some more power over the comings and goings of the hive.
Let's revisit the queen restriction.
Yeah.
So we put a swarm in here. We have a queen in there. That can function as a queen excluder?
I don't think this design can, but they have inserts.
They have another one.
Can.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You can put in that. Just put that queen excluder in briefly to encourage her not to go. And
the bottom needs to be painted too. Has it got UV resistance built into it?
This is all plastic. It's all molded plastic, so that's.
So that doesn't need to be painted. Just a polystyrene.
It's just painting the roof.
Price point for that whole unit, the way you just showed it.
What a great question. We're going to put that right in the bottom of the video because I don't remember what this.
You don't remember, so we'll add it down in the description.
It is a relatively inexpensive polystyrene hive, and that's the other thing.
Okay.
We didn't want to bring out something new that was just another more expensive hive.
Right.
We wanted this to be.
And Lyson makes my favorite stands, by the way.
Well, there you go. And those stands will
best
accommodate
adjustable
these
stands.
very happily.
Sorry. We have Rob over here from Hobbies,
hey there.
of course. All right. Well, I want to thank you for that presentation. It's very interesting.
Thank you. I'm glad that I could give you something to post on your channel.